Since 1935, Luna Park Sydney has lit up the shore of Sydney Harbour and found its way into the hearts of Sydney-siders throughout generations. One of the most iconic amusement parks in the world, Luna Park boasts a rich yet often tumultuous history, with the park experiencing many highs and lows. As Luna Park reaches its 90th anniversary, it's time to look back at the history of this icon. In this video, we'll take a look at the birth of the park, its early days, its rise as a Sydney landmark, then its fall to tragedy, and eventual survival and revitalisation. We'll also have a look at the artwork that has defined and characterised this one-of-a-kind icon. Welcome to the complete history of Luna Park Sydney. Before we get started, please subscribe to the North Sydney Sun YouTube account for all things going on past and present on Sydney's North Shore. Also, you can stay up to date with news at northsydneysun.com.au and subscribing to our weekly newsletter. For this video, we sat down with North Sydney Council's historian Ian Hoskins, who gave us incredible insight into the history of Luna Park. We'd like to thank Ian and North Sydney Council for taking the time to help us with this project. All right, let's get into it. Before the dazzling lights and amusement rides, before the Harbour Bridge, and even before European colonialisation, the rocky north shore of Sydney's harbour was home to the Cammeraygal people, who inhabited the land Luna Park is currently on. Following 1788, the North Shore developed slowly, but areas near the harbour, like what is now Milsons Point, became highly desirable. Fast forward to the 1920s, and this site played a crucial role in building yet another Sydney icon.
That site and the site of the Olympic pool next to Luna Park were where the workshops were that steel was fabricated in for the Harbour Bridge. So once the Harbour Bridge opens in 1932, that's vacant land and people are casting around to see what they can do with this prime foreshore real estate.
Yeah. The idea for a Luna Park at Milsons Point came from Herman Phillips, his brothers, and A.A. Abrams, who, at the time, were operating an amusement park called Luna Park at Glenang, South Australia. But after facing opposition from locals and the council in South Australia, they decided to pack their bags and move up to Sydney.
As I said, the bridge was finished in 32. The land is still vacant next to Sydney Harbour, and he approaches North Sydney Council and I assume the state government as well, and gets a lease in 1935. And a lot of those structures and rides and attractions came literally out crated from Glenelg. They were put together on site by a company called Stewart Brothers, and we have blueprints from the rides and attractions that Stewart Brothers used in 1935. I suspect some of those were adapted because the site is a very compact one at Milsons Point compared to that sort of long foreshore at Glenelg.
Opening its gates in 1935, Luna Park was a dazzling spectacle, drawing inspiration from American amusement parks like Coney Island. Its distinctive entrance, framed by two models of the Chrysler Tower, exuded Art Deco charm.
So uniquely at Milsons Point, we have a big face. There's a big face down at St Kilda, but our big face is not framed by oriental domes. It's framed by two models of the Chrysler Tower in New York. It gives it a very Art Deco feel. It's the middle of the 1930s. It's at that Art Deco time.
Rupert Brown designed the initial interiors, but Arthur Barton, a commercial artist, soon took the reins, shaping the park's vision and identity until the 1970s. Barton's art would become synonymous with the park and leave a lasting legacy that endures to today. During World War II, Luna Park became a vital source of entertainment for American and Australian troops, offering a much-needed escape and a taste of home.
It was a great source of entertainment for any troops, and there would have been Australian and American troops, so many American troops in Australia, part of the Pacific War. They would have been taking girlfriends there, and and the Americans would have felt, I suspect, quite at home there. But we have photographs of Australian servicemen during the war there.
The post-war era would usher in significant changes. In the early 1950s, Arthur Barton famously redesigned the entrance face transforming Rupert Brown's grimacing face into an inviting, clown-like smile, which we know today. New management also invested heavily in upgrades, introducing modern thrill rides like the Rotor. Can still be found at Luna Park, Sydney to this day.
There's the need to upgrade and install new rides. So Hopkins and Atkins go overseas and buy new rides, and so there's a whole lot of new stuff comes in through the 50s.
By the late 1960s, Luna Park faced stiff competition from emerging forms of entertainment. With its lease expiring, a new company took over, initially considering replacing the park with a convention centre. Fortunately, this plan was abandoned. In 1972, principals Leon Fink and Nathan Spat engaged a group of young artists, including Martin Sharp and Peter Kingston, to refurbish the park, honouring artist Arthur Barton's legacy while leaving their own mark.
To get in touch with a group of young artists, Martin Sharp and Peter Kingston are the best known of those, in 1972, and employ them to come in and refurbish the park and put their stamp on it. And they do so through the 1970s, and they fall in love with the park.
1979 proved to be a tragic year for Luna Park, with events that would grip the nation. On the 16th of April 1979, a steel runner had come loose from the famous Big Dipper roller coaster, halting one of 3 trains. The following trains rammed into the stationary one, causing 13 injuries.
Many of the injured children were just ending their 3rd ride on the Dipper when the leading car jammed about 30 metres from the finish. The second car then rammed the first car, spilling crying and screaming children all over the track.
One at a time.
We were told the 2 carriages collided.
Yes, they did.
That's true.
Yes.
One had stopped?
Yes.
For 43 years, Luna Park has been here and we've never had an accident before, and we're very upset that it came at this late stage, and we'll be obviously doing everything we can to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Later that year, on June 9th, thousands of visitors were at the park for the Queen's birthday public holiday, enjoying the amusements. After a big day at the park, it was 10 p.m. when smoke started barreling out of the ghost train ride.
Feared the death toll could rise to as high as 7 in an horrific blaze in Sydney's Luna Park tonight. Fire broke out in the ghost train, and within minutes the building was an inferno.
It's been an absolute night of tragedy here at the Luna Park in North Sydney.
The flames spread rapidly, reportedly due to highly flammable materials in the ride, which left little time for escape for the 35 people on the ride at the time. Firefighters battled the inferno for hours, eventually discovering 7 fatalities within the charred remains. Among the victims were a father and his 2 young children, along with 4 school children on an outing. This immense tragedy, with its significant loss of innocent lives, sent shockwaves across Australia. Initial investigations attributed the fire to an electrical fault.
Events that happened outside the ghost train are clear from the police statements.
We're now satisfied that the fire was as a result of an electrical fault within the building.
In the immediate aftermath, Luna Park faced severe criticism regarding its safety protocols and perceived inadequate fire prevention measures. However, the official explanation failed to satisfy everyone, and rumours of foul play persisted for decades. These suspicions gained considerable traction with the release of a documentary that sensationally implicated Abe Saffron, a notorious property developer and prominent figure in Sydney's criminal underworld. The documentary alleged that the fire was not accidental, but a deliberate act of arson, orchestrated to facilitate the redevelopment of the valuable Luna Park site. Saffron, often called Mr. Sin due to his involvement in various illicit activities, had long been rumoured to have an interest in the prime harbourside real estate.
79 is that real sort of full stop at the end of that. A lot of original artworks and even some of the rides, including the carousel, which was an American-made carousel from the early 20th century. It's a very valuable and a beautiful piece, installed in the park in 1938. That is sold overseas. I mean, that's irreplaceable. and so the park is, the bits are dissipating.
Throughout the 1980s, Luna Park endured a rocky period. Australian Amusement Associates was awarded the tender to operate the park in 1982, but severely neglected the park, especially its historic facades and rides. The group even renamed the park Harborside Amusement Park for a year due to legal disputes. The iconic Martin Sharp face was even removed, and the Chrysler Towers lost their tops. Again, the park closed in 1988.
And in '89, or soon after, the Sydney Morning Herald publishes a plan of yet another sort of high-rise possibility for Luna Park, and so those fears that were there through the beginning in the 70s and then through the 80s sort of fired up again, and you do start to get a really concerted Save Our Luna Park campaign, and the Friends of Luna Park are there at the fore.
And working together if they want it back to get it back. I mean, it was, even when the Queen came here, they turned on the lights and the machines, so when she looked across from the Opera House, we could pretend that the spirit of fun was still in Sydney.
But it was really only a hollow joke by then.
It was a very sad thing.
Leave Luna Park alone.
Keep it public land.
Bugger off, leave it alone.
This public outcry led to the Luna Park Site Act of 1990, legislating the site would always remain an amusement park. In 1991, the initial 2 phases of Luna Park's 3-part redevelopment and restoration plan were approved. Work commenced in January 1993, with construction workers and artists focusing on restoring the amusement park's structures and repairing various artworks, including several of Arthur Barton's original murals. The entrance towers were reconstructed as well, and a new fiberglass face was created. Whittingslow Amusements was slated to supply most of the park's new rides.
Serious work is underway to reopening this park and doing it sensitively. Peter Kingston is involved in that. There's another young artist called Ashley Taylor who is also in love with the legacy of Arthur Barton, and he's able to paint in exactly the style of Arthur Barton. So in a sense, the park that's reopened in early '95 with some new rides, including a fantastic new roller coaster, is a real homage to that first heyday park, and original Barton artworks are restored. A lot of them are brought back into the park, having been sold out in that 1981 auction, displayed in Coney Island. Coney Island is the hub of if you like, the museum of Arthur Barton, and murals are restored, and Ashley reinstates copies of some or his own artwork in the manner of Ashley Taylor.
It is with great pleasure to officially reopen Luna Park.
The park had reopened, but the new Big Dipper roller coaster brought unexpected challenges.
The thing that goes wrong is the noise of the new roller coaster is higher than what should be. The decibels are higher than they hoped them to be. There are complaints from people who've moved into apartments nearby in that interim period, and it goes all the way to the Supreme Court, who say put the restriction on the operating hours of the Big Dipper, and it just proves too difficult to make this work. A huge amount of money was sunk into this refurb, and it closes down literally at the beginning of 1996, so it's open simply for a year.
Despite the park's closure, community efforts, council support and state government involvement were instrumental in its revival. After overcoming legal challenges and setbacks, the government gained clarity on the site's future with the 1977 establishment of the Luna Park Management Plan. This plan aimed to preserve Luna Park's amusement park character while introducing new elements to enhance its viability. Several proposals were presented to the public, and in 1999, a plan by the Metro Edgeley Group was accepted. This proposal largely retained the existing rides, but called for the Big Dipper to be replaced by a multi-purpose concert venue, the Big Top. and the redevelopment of Crystal Palace into a function centre.
Their challenge was to balance a commercially viable amusement park, and it had to be an amusement park, with or without restaurants and all the rest of it, but not high-rise. There could be no buildings there that went above that rock cliff that the park backs onto. That's their challenge. And as they put proposals forward, Friends of Luna Park and members of North Sydney Council, elected members, were often again some of the newer types of rides. So there was that tension between wanting to retain old Luna Park and something more viable. A balance was struck, and I'm not sure if everyone was happy about it, but it did reopen in 2004.
Despite some legal battles, in 2004, the park reopened and continued operating with great success. In 2010, the park was placed on the New South Wales State Heritage Register. Meanwhile, throughout this period, Canadian company Brookfield acquired control of Luna Park in 2007 as part of its purchase of Multiplex. The investment firm then sold the amusement park to Oscars Group in December 2024. Since the 2004 reopening, Luna Park has run smoothly and continues to evolve under new ownership, maintaining a delicate balance between its cherished past and the new amusements. Luna Park holds a special place in the hearts of Sydney-siders.
It's there as a visual site, and you see it lit up on the harbour at night, and that's important. So it sits next to the bridge, an icon, and there's Luna Park. And Luna Park, in its sort of absurdity with that big smiling face, sits across from the serious Opera House, and there's a lovely conversation going on there. Gee, it'd be interesting to know whether there's a new set of nostalgias and a new set of memories that are being formed since 2004 by generations.
Thank you for joining us for this historical rollercoaster ride. What are your favourite Luna Park memories? Let us know in the comments below. What do you think the future of the park will be? As they reach their 90th anniversary, there'll be plenty of celebrations and events going on, so maybe get involved in those. But before you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the North Sydney Sun to find out more about what's going on the North Shore, past and present. Don't forget to also hit us up on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our newsletter at northsydneysun.com.au. Until next time, thank you for joining us.